All right. Guns and ships, history has its eyes on you in Yorktown. Test allies, enemies. How do we see Lafayette's character has grown? How does he show us musically that he is no longer just a Frenchman but firmly on our side? Guns and ships. Yep.
The way he sings and the way he's recognized by the ensemble, he's on par with Hamilton.
And how does he sing?
What are his lyrics or his rhythm?
Yeah, rhythm.
His rhythm, especially in this song, is very similar to Hamilton's.
Even fast. This guy is so wickedly fast. Compared to what was his first lines in the show? Remember?
Oui, French.
Oui, mon ami, yeah. French, halted English. How do you say, Okay. And now he's like zip speeding, lightning out. Does this give us like, musically a feel that he is like now assimilated into this hip hop culture, this new culture?
He's got, when they reunite, he's got the experience of war. So he's now even like a mentor to Alexander.
And bringing him, he's the one who makes the request to bring Hamilton back, which I don't know if that's true or not, do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fact. One thing, when we get to Yorktown, I'd love you to talk a little bit more about liberties taken, because it...
And I can't actually, I have not really studied that battle.
Yeah, okay. History has its eyes on you. What's going on here, thematically, character-wise? Slow moment. Test allies, enemies. What does that mean to you?
Was everybody kind of realizing that stuff was about to go down? History is about to take place.
I just, on an interesting level, I say, and this is maybe something a lot of people can't relate to, but I think it's it's that fact that we really cannot relate to this that he brings up. How often can anybody truly say that history is going to talk about this moment?
Can I just say the last election cycle, though? That's not going to be something most people are going to forget.
But did they know it as it was happening? Right before it happened?
I would say yes, actually.
Well, and that's in politics. There are some things. I'm not saying, how many times can you name those moments where basically that not just people are looking at you today, but they will absolutely. Even this musical is now part of history. This is never going away. He's talking about it. But as he wrote it, he did not know that. As the cast was reviewing, they had a sense it would be good, but they still didn't know. There was still a lot up in the air, so it would just be a hit. And his career was established. How many people ever truly experience this idea that their every move will be analyzed, watched, and remembered?
They don't even know if
As they do it.
Yeah, they don't even know if they're going to be successful, because if they're not successful, then the history's going to be wrote by the other side.
But it will be wrote.
Yeah, but it won't be in their favor, so they might not get remembered or nearly as much as if they would have won. But yeah, you don't know until you actually done it.
We know who they defeated. I'm pretty sure they would have known either way, it's like this is one of those moments that nobody can really identify with.
Yeah, but just kind of like what he's saying, I think too, something to note is that history isn't just told by the victors, it's told about the victors.
Yeah.
The losers, yeah, they lost, go away. It's told about the victors.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So maybe it's a hope and a prayer. So maybe it's a fear and a prayer at the same time.
Yeah.
The world does have our eyes on me if this goes okay. They will look at him if it goes badly, but nowhere near as intensely as. You're right.
It's interesting to think about this story, this song, in the context of what we read in Turner's biography about how Hamilton was sort of a megalomaniac and sort of really self-absorbed. This is a very generous and also very truthful way of sort of looking at Hamilton from his own perspective, which is the whole weight of the world is on my shoulders. I am really important, And so I like the way that this is truthful and also shows a sort of very empathetic portrait of Hamilton.
And then Yorktown. I dare say this song is about the most extensive piece of actual history. A reciting of historical events going on. What do they do to help make it exciting? First off, how exciting of a character does Mulligan seem as he's rapping?
Intense.
What?
Pretty intense.
Pretty intense, right? Pretty like badass, pretty awesome. He's a tailor that measures the soldiers and gets information and sends it over. Do you think it was that exciting and badass? So while he's absolutely telling the truth, musically, he's portraying him as a little bit more exciting maybe than he actually was. He's kind of lying with the music, so to speak, or telling the events he wants to say. What other ways is he playing fast and loose with some of the history here? Maybe he makes a note even that, the world turns upside down was indeed the name of the song that the British sang, the drinking song.
But he changed the melodies to
Yeah.
fun for
Drinking songs are, the world turned upside down, what we call it like.
Yeah. And that was apparently a common song. It's not only
Yeah.
for this purpose.
So how does this portray Hamilton as being the deciding factor?
They set it up like that, so it was a call to action
Yeah.
at the end, and then he was like accepting another call to action.
Yeah. The last kind of test in this portion. He succeeds. I'm not as up to I don't know how much you researched out of this history. Do you know how much road on Hamilton's coming back in real life?
No idea. I don't know.
So, I would dare say this is a bit exaggerated. Just even loving the musical and doing that, I would dare say, again, because of the mere fact of looking at the story structure, and he's the hero, and they need to move us into the next section. We need to give a test for him to win, a big test for him to win that can make us believe that he can negotiate all the problems in the future. So, this would be a really great place to highlight and exaggerate a little bit his accomplishments. So, and that gets us right to the end. And as I said, he kind of steps up King George to come in at the turning point moments. We finished up Test Allies and Enemies, about ready to move on to the second half of the show. Not the second act yet, but the second half. And who comes walking in? King George. We'll start with that on Tuesday.
So when does the second act start?
After nonstop. You stop that.
Oh, it's fine.